Right now, we have with us another young Indian as part of the Voice of the Young segment. Hello, everyone. Good to be back. Today, we have with us Praneetha Yannam. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Praneetha.
Yeah. Firstly, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Mathur, for this opportunity and what you've been doing throughout. And it is also a very great learning platform for all of us. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
And yeah, starting with me. Hi everyone, I'm Praneetha Yannam. Uh, I'm originally from Guntur district in Andhra Pradesh, and all my upbringing was mostly there. Uh, so basically, I got to live in different parts of Andhra Pradesh, but because my father, he worked as a state bank manager, so he would get transfers very frequently. And this has little relation to my career path. I was fortunate to live in both rural and urban backgrounds as a part of his transfers. And my entire schooling was in Andhra Pradesh. And back in schooling, I was a nerd. Like I used to participate in all elections, debate competitions, essay writing, and not too much into sports, but yeah. And then I used to participate in, I used to like mathematics as a subject back then. And I used to participate at school level, like in mathematics olympiads and everything like that. But after 10th, it was a tough decision for me to leave mathematics and choose BPC. It's biology, physics, and chemistry as a major. I aspired to be a doctor then. And like as everybody knows in India, back then I had to give MSET and I very narrowly missed my medicine seat. Uh, then the immediate options next to that to me were either pursuing veterinary science or agricultural sciences. But then I chose to go with the agricultural sciences. So my transition from BPC into agricultural sciences was by accident, just because I missed my medicine seat back then. And also it has little personal story. Me getting into agricultural sciences was considered an achievement in my family, because my grandfather, uh, I studied my bachelor of sciences in bachelor's in agricultural sciences from Bapatla Agricultural College, which is the second oldest college in South India. uh, so my grandfather, he worked as a mess supervisor in the same college, and he
Ah,
wanted one of his grandchildren to just not go with the engineering majors and then to pursue something, to pursue education there in that college. And also my father, after his post graduation, he was for a brief period associated as a project research assistant, uh, to earn his living like that in that college. So
wonderful.
yeah, so everybody were like, whenever I used to call my dad if I get a little less marks in MSET test, and every time he used to encourage, like, don't worry about the medicine seat, all I wanted to get is all I wanted to get is an agricultural BSc seat in there. So yeah, that had little influence in my mind by that time. And but then I had this agricultural economics was actually I had it as a subject during my bachelor's. But even then, agricultural economics, like along with the all other subjects, plant breeding, plant pathology, entomology, they were considered as major subjects, and agricultural economics extension, these were considered minor subjects within the college terminology, even, like, because not many would go on to pursue these things. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, I got to live in different rural and urban settings. So I always was captivated by different livelihood, the way of livelihoods of people back then, like how most people in rural areas are working in farming sector, and how in urban areas they would transition into other non-farm areas. And also this my interest in agricultural economics strengthened more mostly during my bachelor's. We were placed for a semester long internship kind of thing as a rural agricultural work experience program in a very remote village. So basically, we as a group of students, as a group of 6 to 7 students, would be placed in a remote village to observe farmers, their livelihoods, and their field settings more closely. So that is what interested me. Like there would be so many factories around them, but they would even. I was very interested, like intrigued by the fact that even young people were choosing to continue in their farms, in their family farms, and their like how contract farming and things like that work. And that is how. And then I wanted to do my master's because as I said, it is commonly seen agricultural economics as a minor subject even within the agricultural sector. So, but here in the US, people pursue bachelors for 4 years throughout in the agricultural economics as a discipline, right? So I then chose to apply for masters abroad. I then applied for one university, uh, but I got rejected, saying like I do not have enough background because relatively it is kind of understood, right? People here pursue for 4 years, and I only have agricultural economics as a subject. But then simultaneously, I had given uh, JRF examination, which is ICAR. We have a separate body for agriculture, that which is Indian Council of Agricultural Research, which
Yeah.
conducts JRF examination. I had given that, and that is how I had secured a seat in Marathwada Agricultural University. And I then went on to pursue. But then I, I mean, it was a tough decision again. Like many of my friends had immediately got admissions when they went for plant sciences and everything. I had the pressure like from family, you can also go for the other subjects, but then I was so uh, yeah, I had decided that I would only study economics at that point of time.
Yeah. And
So I
why
went.
had you decided that? Can you share with us?
Yeah, it was like probably that might be a naive thought back then, but being able to participate in policy decision making and working closely with people. I also during that time thought there are dearth of agricultural economists per se. Like there are more people who are working towards plant breeding, plant protection scientists, and there are already enough number of people, whereas there needs to be more people working towards agricultural policies, and that is the reason for that
Yeah.
during
Okay.
that
Good.
time. Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. You're going where the demand is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. So you went for your master's. How was it?
Yeah, it was that was great, but it was more theoretical based. Like there was not much of quantitative focus, and again agriculture, again I lost the touch with my mathematics back by the 10th standard. I did not have it during 11th and 12th standard, and neither during my bachelor's. uh, Even if I had agricultural statistics as a subject, we only would deal with introduction to computer programming, and only about the descriptive statistics things, like
Yeah.
not much of the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I did touch quite few. Like we had macroeconomics, econometrics as subjects during my masters, but then it was mostly theoretical based. So one thing I did was like in the Google Scholar, whichever work I wanted to do, it is if I wanted, I used to have alerts from different authors from different universities, like who is specifically working on that particular topic. So I would get alerts like whenever they publish research or whenever there is research published in that particular topic, I would get an email alert on all the papers. That is how I was like keeping up myself with the research that was going on. And then after, I stood as a university topper, but uh, also one thing I wanted to bring out was had it been little more remunerative, or had it been more lucrative for researchers in India, like most people would pursue the research. Uh, I then After finishing my masters, I went on to do. I always had the thought of pursuing PhD, but then I wanted to work to gain some research experience after that. So I then applied and got selected for as a research as an young professional. It is mostly as in par with the research analyst in National Academy of Agricultural Research Management. It
Yeah.
serves as a think tank for all the agricultural research that is happening in India.
Hmm.
So though it is not much related to the economic research that is happening, my role mainly was in the project management and evaluation division, where I would be responsible for looking after all the institutional and different projects throughout the country. And we would need to communicate to the national government stakeholders about the research progress that is happening in the institute, and how they have uh, how they're on par with the sustainable development goals.
Okay.
That is how the projects are prioritized. Also, it was a great opportunity then, because I was positioned in the project management and evaluation division. I had connections with all the agricultural scientists that are working in other disciplines, like who are working in the computer science department. Like they would be working towards building MOOCs platforms, like massive online
Yeah.
platforms, and that is how. And I did write few articles for them, like to publish their work, because they wouldn't have obviously a time. So my work as a research analyst helped also for my visibility. And
Okay.
then uh, and then again, ICR SRF exam I had given, and I went on to do PhD uh, in my own bachelor's college, Bapatla Agricultural College. I finished first semester, but then one of the professors at University of Arizona was an alumnus from Bapatla Agricultural College, and then he was then offering classes for a semester uh, to people from his own alma mater. I then got in touch with him, and based on the assignments and everything that I was doing, he encouraged me to apply.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, since I had initially planned to go for abroad studies, I had my GRE scores uh, by then. But yeah, it was an immediate decision and a quick decision, like not much plan. Also, also my PhD mentors and mentors from earlier masters, they advise like to stay there and finish my PhD, because it wouldn't matter where you would do PhD, but it is the highest degree. But then I wanted it like little bit more quantitative focused, and also to diversify between, I just did not want to confine myself to agricultural economics. I was also always interested in topics concerning development economics, like poverty, gender relations, and everything. So while also he was taking classes, uh, like he would focus more on the calculus, and then when he shared the curriculum, I got interested in that. So, but since it is not guaranteed admission, I had applied to the other universities as well. I got admissions from University of Connecticut and University of Arizona, but being it a STEM discipline, which is important for international students, I decided to go for University of Arizona that time.
Okay. And did he
Yeah,
give you a fellowship or you are paying for
yeah,
it?
yeah. That was another good thing that happened to me. I was fortunate enough, and like that shaped my decision, because earlier when I applied, right after my bachelor's, I only applied to one university, thinking like it was a calculated risk. When I got rejected from Colorado State University, I thought this would happen to other universities also. I would not want to waste 10,000 rupees for every university application.
Yeah.
But then I was I was writing emails to all the professors, whoever I want to work under, but that was the thing which I find it like wrong recently, because few professors on LinkedIn were sharing that few universities, they restrict their professors from, responding to people who are applying, like before the admission is granted. So I feel like now I should have applied to more universities back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I initially, when I came to US, I came with a thought directly after my master's I would go for doing PhD, and then I would work for World Bank, or I would return to India and then work as a faculty in any academic institutions. But then even during master's at University of Arizona, I got to choose courses in from industrial organization, development economics, and then uh, we were we had the opportunity to do a semester long internship with American Express. Uh, so I kind of like the industrial research, industrial economic research that is happening as well. So now after I only very recently graduated. That was in August 2023. That was only like last month.
Yeah.
Uh, so I kind of wanted to take a break to actually observe like where I fit in, where which I would enjoy the most, because I initially thought academic research is what is of utmost interest to me. But when I see the industrial research, when that was during our project with American Express, during that time, I thought, yeah, this is also interesting. Also, our work is immediately seeing action if it is an industry. So I thought, and I'd been applying to jobs, but yeah, I recently got into an International Development Enterprise Institute. It is basically a global institute where all the employees are positioned in different countries. And my work is basically to develop a climate resilience and agricultural resilience indicator at household level and different market actors from the data from 7 countries currently.
It's quite far from plant inbreeding.
Yeah,
It's quite a
yeah,
journey, right? By the way, let me
yeah.
ask, when you started your bachelor's, what was the ratio of boys to girls there?
Uh, Girls were more actually, like around 65% were girls
Okay,
during that time. Yeah, that has changed a lot from previous years, where mostly even my professors used to say like entire class used to be filled with boys with only one or two girls if
right.
there were. But yeah,
And masters?
in masters also it was not much of difference between boys and girls proportion, 50-50 around.
And here in Arizona?
In Arizona, again, girls were outnumbering boys.
Ah, all right, wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but now you have got your master's, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
started your work plan, your work, because
Yeah,
obviously you need to work to have some money, otherwise how, and
yeah,
also you don't have a visa to stay without working, right?
yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
And
Yeah.
but the work is remote or how is
It,
it?
it is remote.
Okay, so you can continue to live in the same place and
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah. Also, I'm seeking out some pre-doc opportunities to gain more research experience, but my next plan is to go for a PhD.
Wow. So and who knows what subject it will be in
Yeah.
because you're
Again, the development economics is what I feel like I could relate more,
uh,
uh, the development topics. But then again, if it is called peer learning, when one of my friends worked on environmental justice, and I like that as well. So I'm like looking for working more in that.
okay.
Yeah.
Any hints you have for your juniors?
Uh, yeah, like I would talk to what I would say as if I were talking to my younger self. Again, the way I said probably to look out for more opportunities. Of course, there is a lot of information available. Also, with the abundance of information available, it is overwhelming at the same time. So it is always important to have the human connection, and it is wise to learn from others' experiences. So again, do not take rejections personally. There are so many opportunities out there, and just seek opportunities as you get them.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And you are a
Beyond
prime example of that.
that.
From Parbani to Arizona is quite a jump,
Yeah,
quite a culture shock, I'm sure, because
definitely. Yeah,
completely different, and it's
yeah.
Arizona, for people who don't know, is how is the temperature there?
It was horrible. Yeah.
It's hot.
This summer was more horrible. It was like 117 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's like in the desert of Rajasthan.
Yeah,
It's very, very hot, but they have air conditioning to keep you cool, right?
yeah, yeah.
So anything else you want to add at this point?
That's her, like, yeah, again, to have more network and learn from, again, entirely it is a process. I had also been looking out at different websites where people recently, just before talking here, I had known about Coiley's research platform where they share about young people's research opinions and things like that. Yeah, like to look out more for the opportunities and to
Okay.
seek help.
Okay, let me just ask you a personal question. You don't have
Sure.
to answer.
Sure.
What do your parents and grandparents think of all this?
I
Your
mean,
your move from here to there. What do they think? Are they happy? They
unfortunately,
are thrilled?
my grandparents are no more to
Ah,
witness this journey.
ah,
But yeah, my parents, they have always been encouraging. I mean, being both of them being educated, and they always emphasized on being self-independent and being independent, and
okay.
uh, yeah, financially independent. And they were so encouraging, because otherwise it wouldn't have been possible. Like after one master's, and then I quickly decided that I would go for masters whenever I got the opportunity. They were like, yeah, you wanted that, just go for it.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Now, because you said your grandfather was in that college,
Yeah,
and so I was just
yeah,
curious to know, but maybe he's not there since you're not.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
uh, that is it from my side, sir.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's very, very good to hear from you, Praneetha. We may
Thanks a
catch
lot
up
for
with
the
you 1 year
opportunity.
from now and see
Yeah,
how things are with you.
sure.
Maybe you change your field again.
Yeah,
Who knows? All right. Okay,
yeah,
let's say bye to the viewers for the time being. Okay,
yeah.
bye, everybody.
Bye.
Great to be with you. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye.
Bye.